So I just wanted to talk a little bit about artificial disc replacement. As I said, I have a description of that, explaining how it is and what it is in my book, The Back Bible. And it is, artificial discs are designed now. They've been around for many years and they've come quite a long ways with materials and testing, and they say now that they should last about 75 years. And the human disc is only about 30 or so years before they might start breaking down. So anyway, I know a few people. One friend of mine actually fell down some stairs. He went out to walk his dog in the middle of the night, fell downstairs, broke his neck. He was laying there stuck until his roommate found him. He has an artificial disc in his neck. He did get that here in the United States. I don't remember now. I think maybe he paid for it and then got reimbursed by insurance. But either way, you can do that in the neck, or also called the cervical. I know I've met a couple other people also with artificial discs. Fusions, if you only have one fusion in your neck, it isn't usually too bad because it's not so weight bearing as it is like your lumbar or your low back. So I haven't heard too much very difficult situations with those. Lumbar is another situation. I know of a few people that I've talked to, one who had his lumbar artificial disc in his low back the same year that I had my first fusion. And the last time I talked to him a couple of years ago, he had not had any serious problems with his low back because they flex. Instead of being fused, if these were vertebrae fused together, they still flex, they twist, they have cushion mimicking an actual human disc. Okay, so lumbar or low back artificial disc, as far as I know, you cannot get those in the United States that I'm aware of. There are people getting this done in Germany. If you're a candidate, I have the name of, I have some of this information limited, but it's in my book. Okay, and like I said, I was going to move on to this chart here again and show you what I was talking about at the end of my surgeries and all that information. So as I was saying, people asking me about my back surgeries and the results, how I am now. My first surgery was L3-4. Let me back up a little. Lumbar discs is what we're talking about right here. We have 5 in our low back, or our lumbar. We're talking about fusions, and we're talking about ASD, and I'll explain in a second. So people again asked me about the results of my back surgeries. My first back surgery was a little bit different than an average person. Usually it's L4-5 is very common. Now we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These are discs. Yes, discs. 5 vertebrae in our low back, our lumbar, and these discs in between the cushions are the discs. So my first surgery was L3-4, lumbar between vertebra 3 and 4. That's what we call them, lumbar discs, L1-2, L2-3, etc. L5-S1 is the lowest vertebra, the 5th one, and the sacrum down here. So my second surgery was L4-5 because of the extra pressure, the ASD, adjacent segment disease they call it. I call it adjacent segment disaster, but anyway, no one told me anything about that. 2003, 2018 I had a surgery. 2021 I had 2 more surgeries, and it was after all of those, one doctor that I talked to mentioned ASD. I had already found it on the internet. Anyway, I believe it needs to be discussed long before that. Artificial discs I talked about, ASD, very important. So then I had number 3 surgery and number 4 surgeries the same day. As I mentioned, the L5S1 and the L2-3. The only disc I have left is L1-2. So I'm going to move over to here. Right about here is your L1 we're talking about. So from there all the way down to here, now on me is like one bone. Let's shift over to here. And the difficulty with that is where your hip bone is connected to your sacrum. That is a lot of pressure there now. All of this, see that line from here to here is solid bone. So what happens now, the ASD, if that happens again, the pressure that I have is any kind of movement from my low body to my upper body. The fulcrum is right here. All the pressure is on that one disc now, and I have to be a lot more careful than I used to be. So that's what I wanted to clear up about. Oh, by the way, the answer to all the questions, how's my back now? Different. After each surgery, it's different. There are some things I mentioned that are positive, and there are plenty of things that I wish I knew what I know now. So again, thanks for watching. And if anyone else can benefit from this knowledge, please pass it on. Like, subscribe, like I've said before, and stay curious.